Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sognsdal Saga here on the Lord Master channel. I am particularly excited because I came up with an idea, only just to entertain myself, but it's also just to test our resolve. As in, how far can we go? Because, you know, we've realized that we could travel far to Constantinople or Kyrgyzstan, whatever that's called, because the man who runs there is of Cumbrian culture, in which they typically come from over there. That's where the Cumbrians live. So we come to the realization, okay, so we could travel that far to raid. And then knowing that her ability, when she leads an army, that can live off the land where we have increased supply capacity. And it kind of gave me a thought, even though our Dynasty Legacy, where is it? That's not till we get to Veteran Explorers. That's centuries away. A century or two away, where we get that for increased supply duration even more. But they didn't have something like that for pillage also. It's loot. Doesn't say anything about supply, no. This is why I said since the beginning that we'd be only going through these first. And any of that, who knows? Depends on certain circumstances. But anyways, so we can travel as far to there as we can raid. So it kind of gave me a thought, knowing of the supply capacity. Like, we usually start off at 100, but every time we leave, we never get it up to 300. So it gave me the idea, okay, how about we just gather those supplies, reach it up to the max at 300, and then we're gonna go on and then we're gonna go on a Viking world tour, so to speak. Like, rather than just the usual England, Francia, Holland, those areas, I want to raid every single highly developed area or metropolis. Unless they trade, which I'm okay with. I'm just more of, it's like, how far can we travel? That's the sense. How far can we travel before we starve ourselves? So here's my plan for this great adventure of a lifetime. We're gonna raid Kotoba first, and then we raid Rome, and then we go up river and into the Caspian, up to the Sirdaria, and into Samarkand, because that is a metropolis. Unless, do they have any metropolises in Fergana? Just out of curiosity. They do not. But isn't that part of Sogdiana more developed? They're similar. So still go with Samarkand because there's more loot, because it's a metropolis, and they got some dependable donkeys at this time. I know we can't steal donkeys, but still, it's just something to be noted. So again, anyways, so after Samarkand, and then we just walk on down, and where's the Samanid capital? Oh, you're down there. Never mind then. So after Samarkand, and we go down and right up the Amudaya, also known as the Oxus, and then up back to the Caspian. So we'll just go back up there, and then we sail on down to Alexandria, which is another major population center, and Cairo as well. And then we take to the Canal of the Pharaohs, sail on down to the Red Sea, then up to the Persian Gulf, then we sail up to Baghdad, another metropolis with lots of loot. And then after Baghdad, we turn around and is Mecca a metropolis or no? No, it isn't. How much loot? Okay, possibly there as well, because that great mosque of the Mecca is there. Okay, and then After that, then we would go to India. I know there's a few metropolises here and there, but this isn't one of them, but it's got a black market of an Indian Ocean pirate den. Even though we're going to be pirates in a sense. But there is one metropolis down in Tamil Nadu, in Tanjavur. That's another. And then you go sail up to the Ganges. And it's Lakshmanavati is another metropolis. Patliputra back in its old days, which you may have to raid out as well, as there's many great loot. A foreign merchant community. And those Buddhists control the Rajgir's hot springs. Well, that's good timing, actually. And then after Patliputra, then we'll go up to Kanyakubja, which that one is also metropolis. Mixed religious peoples there. And then after Kanyakubja, then up to Dili, also known as Delhi, or 100. Is Lahore metropolis? No. It may be doubtful, but where's Lhasa? Actually, this is Lhasa, not a metropolis. Too far up for us to go up there, because you gotta be a crazy person to be thinking of something like that. It just feels like I'm going to every known metropolis known to man. Wait a minute, is Tunis a metropolis? No. Marrakech? No, but also under siege. That place over there. Nope. Nada. Hakan isn't it as well. Anyway, so that's my plan. We're going on a world tour, but in order to achieve that, for these long travels, we got to add the supplies to my army and supply it up to its maximum, if it's even possible. So even if we may lack some levies here and there, because of a recent conflict we fought against Sweden, and we were fresh off from a raid. Plus, I'm pregnant, so you may want to wait a moment. And there's other things to do, because I'm about to spend the money on something. So, before we make the grand adventure to the world, just for the sake of stories and tales that we could tell for future generations of how Þórunn got a couple of foreigners as prisoners, and whatever artifacts we may get off of them that you do not typically find in this part of the world. Yeah. So, let's conduct some business here. Empty granaries. Before me stands my vassal Yarsvin, his head hung low. My lady, Arnaldala, has been hit hard by a recent harsh winter. Oh, it's in middle of January. The people are starving, our fields are not recovering, and our livestock is not enough to survive anymore. We beg you to intervene and save your devoted subjects with your great magnanimity. The palace David falls silent. Yipe. I mean, I'd like to be less of a tyrant these days, but I'll say some gold will help lessen your sufferings. Get a weak hook on him. Use that to, force the vote to the one I want. Well done on that dance. A peasant man from the travel was brought before me, and no matter what the guards do, he will not stop dancing. Trailing blood from mangled feet. I cannot cease, my lady. None of us can. Not until we collapse. Please help us. My courtier Asa is certain that the citizens are affected by an excess of blood, causing an imbalance in the humors. On the other hand, it says that it's a curse sent by Odin to punish the peasants. Oh, wow. You lose all that stress because you're sadistic? Wow. Bring out the leeches. We have humors to balance. I gained a tiny bit of a learning lifestyle experience. Just one day, I'm going to switch to one of those lifestyles that relates to it. The end is nigh. As soon as his turn to speak, the agitated man in front of me screams, "The end is nigh!" The signs are clear and everywhere. The people of Vildbin know it all too well. Disorders, bandits, thieves, and violence, and the disappearance of just among them. Ragnarok is upon us. There's only one way for us to be saved. Chastity and purity. Renounce the temptations of the flesh. Oh, you're possessed. But I'll say nonsense. Burn this raving heretic. To gain a bit of piety and the dread that I currently have up to the max. Business here is done. Okay. Now, let's give it a few months. Do it before the month of May. And get as much levies as possible. I know you all dislike me, but we're going to go on a grand adventure. All of us. You're all invited. It's only a couple months pregnant. I will remain pregnant by the time we get this thing rolling. Okay, here's the deal. First raiders and Nidaros. Where am I? Over here. Okay. Put me on this army. Army will not use supply till it's gathered. It's going to take several months. The rest of yous can stay. So we're in a preparation phase right now. Jotnig took my place as the culture head. Let me guess, they installed you by faction demand. Yes. Because that boy was down there. And, now here it is. Homosexual poet. He's got plenty of children. Is in good health. Well, may we have good relations. Execute a dynasty member. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. Now, here's the damn... Okay, it's April. Because it's been raised recently and will not use supply until 15th of April. Oh, that's fine. Because I got a thing to do. Sponsor a whale hunt. 64% chance of success. Well, that'll have to do. And then 76% chance of that success. But it can be increased further, which I'm willing to spend it more on a great hunt once again. And of course, you know what this is all about. We're still set off in June. Support Greenland, knowing we're spending on On resilience, we need more shelling. Huts to shelter animals and to store crops are good. This is just to increase its resilience a little. Unless you want to do it all the way. No, this is fine. Just out of balance. So, now I've sent ships of supplies and skilled laborers with the intention of constructing a number of shillings in Greenland. No matter where they're built in the North Atlantic, these humble but important structures house livestock, or even people, as well as store crops and other materials, essential, in other words, for everyday life. May these ships journey safely to Greenland. And now we got one more. Expedition to the west. Not gone to Markland yet. And we do need more resilience for Greenland. So, Markland. Faraway Markland is famed for its timber. As a reminder. Well, actually, it'll tell from here. Now, our lands that beyond, lie beyond Greenland, like Markland, by sponsored expedition there. We would locate useful resources, locals to trade with, and more if we succeed. As I begin to organize this expedition, I carefully consider the question of who will lead it. This person needs to be courageous, intelligent, and able. Their leadership could make the difference between the expedition's success or failure. Some people in my court have expressed interest in becoming the expedition. Should I grant this honor, or should I give this some more thought? I'm unsure. I'm unsure about any of you. I need to think this over before I decide, so I'll just pick someone else to do it, or just... It says, if you do not choose anyone, no one accepts your request in 3 months, a randomly generated character will be selected as leader. So let me have a look. Oh, come on. Guess I'm going to go with the randomly generated character thing. Unless... Because I was about to say, hey, do any of you want to go on an adventure? Depends on age, of course. If you wish to recruit. No, that one's betrothed. It'll be here. Be there. "14 years out, house arrest." That kind of stuff makes you want to drive insane, huh? Yeah, let's just mass ransom anybody, because I've been spending so much money that I'd like to make some back. And more. Oh, and another thing. Those burial mounds that I've been wanting to replace them, I can't do that in Signifilki for some reason. And yet we could do it with other locations. Yeah, I guess we can replace it. And I have to be the holder of there, which makes it a bit more important. Or the alternative, and I just thought of this recently. It technically is part of it. So you know what, just do it here. Replace it. Again, this is what's gonna happen. I mean, this will help with a bit of renown, but yet when we continue to improve upon it, it also reduces the embarkation cost. Vendor advantages. See each and every one of them. Seriously, I thought you were good at this. What happened? Or have I always had bad stewards? Well, I'm just going to assign you instead, and then I'm going to put you to there. It's not because of development, it actually helps with the construction time. And then assign a royal architect. There's not much people who qualify for that sort of thing, but it'll do. Instead of 3 years, it'll be this is where constructed burial mounds. Are you sure? I mean, I could do it with that, but... Oh, I got an idea. How about I just fabricate a claim with this one, and I'll build it from there, because there's an empty spot, in case this thing backfires. Now, anyways, I did what I can. Now, let's get to supplying. Gained a rival because languished in prison for too damn long. So now we can start gathering supplies. Keep going. $142 gold. Alright. 8 arrives in Greenland. Alright. Those local farmers and herders will find them most useful in their daily work. Earns additional gold annually from the states, and chance success from expeditions are increased. $120. This is going to take several months, or up to a year, before we finally go on this world tour that I have been planning for this episode. And now the walrus hunt begins, off to Nordsetter. They'll be back in August or so. Look how close we are. All of us are that are involved, in which we're getting to the integration phase sooner. Hopefully we'll have a successful expedition to Markland, which will be coming soon. But I decided to get this man over here. So today's the day that the expedition are organized. We'll set off for Markland. I've come to the harbor in Nidars to bid a farewell. I could not find a willing leader for this expedition from my courtiers, so I had to resort to recruiting a veteran traveler in my realm. I don't know him well, so I can only hope that I did not make a mistake. He assures me that the crew's in good spirits, and they are ready for this great adventure. I can only hope that nothing goes wrong in this trip, that he and his crew returns with great success, whether that is bountiful treasure, trade opportunities with locals, new discoveries, or something else. I'm unsure of that, man. But safe journeys. Again, 3 episodes. So let's just hope it'll be all positive. So he'll be an explorer now. While we continue to supply this army very well, and then bring everybody over here, then we're off. Now I got a daughter. She's Herculean. Sigyn. A messenger bird brings you a message from her. with an update about his expedition to Markland. He reports that while sailing the coastline, they encountered an area littered with a significant amount of high-quality driftwood. Greenland is no stranger to driftwood, of course, as the remains of trees from strange faraway lands often get carried by the waves to its beaches. Such driftwood can be used for everything from firewood to shipbuilding. Anyways, Berge said it's uncommon to find so much driftwood of this quality. Thus, he and his crew will spend some time gathering as much as they can and bring them with on their ships. Good find. Greenland could always use some more driftwood. There's a good outcome. Not particularly useful as I'm an independent ruler, but it'll lead to all of these. I'd like to be an administrator, add that to my lifestyle, so that way I can make those vassals respect me again. Take a drink. Messenger bird brings a message with an update about his expedition to Markland. Markland is renowned for its abundance of timber. After all, that was arguably the chief reason of why we sent an expedition there in the first place. Anyways, Vega reports that he came across what he thought was good forested location in Markland. However, this was chopped down. After they chopped down some of the trees, they realized that this wood is rather of poor quality. It turns out the whole area lacked of decent timber, so ultimately they waste a lot of time for nothing. Perhaps they find better timber elsewhere in Markland. So that one's a bad outcome. Oh dear. It could go either way now. I received a report from my family's stay in Greenland. The hunting trip we organized has returned with the war salary. The big question is whether we made a reasonable return on our investment in this endeavor. Anyways, based on the results of this hunt, the hunters we've hired have collected enough walrus tusks to sell for 205 gold to various merchants and market supports throughout Northern. There were no other notable events that have occurred during our trip. The hunters have now resumed their normal lives in Greenland. It's time to make money off of this ivory now. I'll seduce you so I can leave you and have another child. It's 200 now, so that's... It's about... We got 22, 62... We got 4 more months. We're going to set off in 4 months. No longer my cupbearer. We're gonna go on an adventure that we will all never forget. Where we... Okay, it's slowing down a bit. Oh, it's the winter. So it's causing a slowdown on supply gathering. That's fine. We're all gonna set off in the spring anyway. Go. 300. 300. Again, I'm the only one who's going to do the commanding around here. So everybody, gather around. Ooh, a messenger bird brings the message figure with an update about his expedition to Magma. In the course of the expedition, he says that they were blown slightly off course and ended up at what seemed to be an unknown coastline at first. However, everyone soon started to recognize the geographical features as they corresponded with the description of the location mentioned in legend about the voyages of an earlier explorer. Because the legend was somewhat vague about what this area was like, Edgar thought this is an excellent opportunity to ascertain whether the accuracy of the geographical features in the legend to map out the area and help future sailors and explorers traveling the region. On the other hand, maybe you might not discover anything new worth noting down, as the legend was sufficient to help them navigate this area. Oh dear, he's learning. 57% chance he doesn't discover any useful new information and wastes the expedition's resources. That could potentially be a bad ending. Or 42% chance that he discovers useful new information, expanding on what was previously known from the legend. But I think he didn't waste time and he just sailed onwards, which will be a neutral outcome. Oh, really? All the supplies that we kind of gathered, that's for nothing. I thought this was going to be the case where it's like, hey, all the supplies gathered, but instead, okay. I think we just have to make do with what we can. But remember, this will not stray from the path that we have planned on doing originally. Much as I'd like to increase the size of it, but it does not have city planning. And since I was the culture head, and I switched to city planning, and that's the way it's going to be, even though it's not going to be until 62 years. My original plan was to have the supplies enough to get us to travel around the world, but I guess that's unrealistic. Unless you want to go small and just travel throughout like you were supposed to. Well, that's practically a pipe dream. I mean, I'm sure there's other ways that you could do that, but I just don't want to endanger the life of the raiding army of every single man and woman involved. So we're going to have to make do. So it seems we'll have to do it in a limit. So 4 months we'll be in Cordoba, and then we'll raid Rome, and then come back up for a resupply. And we'll have to do it the same way again. And then to Samarkand and Alexandria and all that, all those aforementioned locations I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. But hey, I'm a reaver. I'll take much attrition. And as a reminder one more time, faster naval speed, faster raid speed, and that holy site that we have. Oh, where the is it? That holy site that we have. It's faster naval speed. Solace and script. The latest work of my acquaintance, my neighbor, Jotning Hedron, has become all the rage accordingly. Peace deals with feelings of sorrow and loss. She is publicly dedicated to me. Pangs of sadness. Is this a curse, perchance, to deprive the world of such beautiful dance? Without her, we're all but hollow shells, all lonely hearts in separate cells. So far, I've kept my thoughts to myself, but the buzz has grown too dramatic to ignore much longer. I could see this is truly heartfelt. Again, it's some opinion of her. The ships we sent on the expedition of Markland have returned. I went to meet Virgir and asked him about the various adventures he had during the expedition. Unsurprisingly, there was much to tell. Fortunately, it appears that the expedition was ultimately a success. During the expedition, we managed to acquire a lot of useful resources, contacts, and information while exploring this frontier region. There is no doubt the boons of this expedition will greatly help the Greenland colony. Perhaps we could send another expedition to this region in the future. It would be another great opportunity to earn more glory for ourselves. So, there you go. It's a success. 88 gold earned. But its resilience decreased a bit. But, nevertheless, big jump towards the integration phases. We're almost there. While we travel out, let's see, one penalty. Oh, really? European ivory carving center. Greenland exports a lot of Walrus ivory to markets throughout Europe, where it's often sold for high prices. Up until now, the ivory carving workshops that makes most use of this ivory has been scattered across many lands, which saw the entrepreneurial-minded Malik Abdul Razak saw as a great opportunity. Working together with the local merchants and ivory carvers, he has developed his capital, Kortova, into Europe's main center of ivory carving outside of the Nordic seas. By investing in this industry and transforming Kortova into a major destination for ships laden with walrus ivory, and his successes will profit handsomely from the ivory trade for years to come. A smart business move. Oh, you just made yourself an attractive target for raids now. Yep, now you're an attractive target because they just established a European ivory carving center. The timing is excellent. Your grandson. Gotta be worth something. No? Okay then. And I'm a Zig woman. Okay, we're here. Again, we don't want to overstay our welcome. We're going on a world tour. God dang it. Now, next target, Rome. Venice is a metropolis. Okay, we'll add that to the list as well. I overlooked that. So that, I mean, let me explain to you just a tiny bit briefly. When there's a Nordic ivory carving center made, it's the only one in the world that you can build. But European ivory carving center, that's just applied to anyone in Europe. That has high development, of course. So you got to get your development up to 10. His 31. I guess he finally found the time to spend money on it. And he's gathering an army, so 9 days. And we'll be back in the river in 8 days, so we'll be out of here in no time. Oh my goodness, that's a bigger army than ours. But in a practical fight, we could have beaten them. My rival's been imprisoned. Is Genoa a metropolis? Yes, it is. Lotharingian control. Pisa is not a metropolis. Oh, Neopos. Okay, there's more Metropolis. Okay, that's just my intention. It's like, we're gonna raid every single Metropolis that's known to us. A Saxon who runs the city there. Up the Tiber, and here we are, Rome. Raid or trade. As I prepare my troops, and I prepare to sack the lands of Rome, our first scouts report back. It seems the local towns are rich, but many are heavily fortified. We could be well called out by vengeful armies before we could break into the juiciest targets. Not all is lost. The art of good trading and exploiting opportunity. We could perhaps arrange trade and tribute in exchange for staying our blades. Don't be silly. You wouldn't like that. Honestly, yes, we could make money trading, pillaging anyway. Hurry. We don't want to overstay our welcome here. No army. There you go. Now, we're still good, well supplied. I think it's possible we can make the trip all around the world because of the supply limit, because of those metropolises and their development. I think it is possible. I guess I miscalculated. Now to Genoa. And after that, Neapolis. And then after that, Venice. And then after that, bypass that because we raided that. Go far to Samarkand, the northernmost metropolis of that part of the world. What Provence? No. I'm excluding Paris because we've done that many times. We're just going to places we have not gone to before. Milan. But that requires a little bit more walking. And it's not that valuable, unfortunately. Well, I think we may have to exclude that. It's too inland. Don't forget Mecca. There's value in that too. Want her? Okay. Barrow Mounds is constructed. From domain 0.10. Oh, that helps. That helps a lot, actually. Keep building. So these are burial mounds. Large earthen mounds close to the coast used for funerary purposes. They house the tomb of the chieftains and great warriors who lie at a final rest with jewelry, weapons, and other personal belongings, often close to their family. Now we upgraded to Trelepo, an earthen defensive work of a peculiar circular shape, functioning as both a fortress and defend area and a gathering point for future raids. It's carved near the barrel mounts to protect the treasures dug beneath them from scavengers and raiders. It's worth spending the rest of our money on. It's our final resting place of our ancestors and others too. In 49 days we'll be in Neapolis next. Is Ragusa a metropolis? No. Not Theodora either. Spalatos? No. Not Salerno. Wants to make a chest. Alrighty. Give it a go ahead. that place? La Casa de Monte. Okay, there's some value there. Sacked by settlers. Former slaves of East European descent settled in this province. Starostava. Oh. I think this land was formerly, you know, the territory of the Sogndanians, if I'm correct, history-wise. No? And I guess that must have been long ago. Anyways. Venice is next. No, 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 not that way. Get to the sea. And then to there. Feel safer in the water. What about Athens? Athens is a metropolis, but it's Byzantine Empire territory, so I think you may want to avoid that unless they're at war. Which they are. At war in itself, yeah, okay. 1 second. The batteries in my mouse just ran out and I'm about to put on this thing that will recharge it and then it can get on with it. So here's a little production snafu on my end. Should have had us fully charged before you record such things. And okay, after Venice, then Athens, and then Samarkand. It's only 2 years, so we can't raid that again. No metropolis there. My old friend died. Bonds and marriage are enough, so I lay with him. No need to be lovers now. Not here to have that kind of fun. By Odin, woman, leave me alone. You will leave him alone. Capture the guest. Okay then. Now to Athens. Oh, what? Oh, diverged. State ransoming. Knights in battle died less but are captured more. Characters of Legion's culture are more likely to be captured in sieges. Can demand higher ransoms for lower ranked rulers. They make less income while they're war. But they take more for less friendly fatal casualties. What kind of cultural tradition is that? That's a strange thought. Strange practice. Relic in hand. My antiquary had heard this approach me with an idea. By sealing my branch of the sacred tree of Uppsala inside the handle of my mother's sword. I'll be always close to Odin when I wield it. You'll be literally to touch a piece of Valhalla when you hold your sword. This sort of look of religious ecstasy glow in her eyes. Wow, that I mean, if my mother was alive right now, she was like, no, don't do that. That is sacrilege. But for me, I would feel differently. So the branch of the secret tree at the Temple of Uppsala is embedded inside of my mother's sword. I think with that, I would always be close to Odin. Would that improve of it? Or will it combine some of this? Plus, it's a pedestal item on display, and I'm taking this all away from all this. Relic and weapon combined. The sword of Vulcan. Oh, hold on. Let me read this. The sword of Vulcan. The wrought iron sword of fine craftsmanship. Everything's construction serves its purpose. It's like opening a tent, gives the owner strict utilitarian aura. A tiny but elegant description runs on side. Dedicated to a stalwart friend, Gita. That's happened on Astrid's life. Now, the branch of the sacred tree at the Temple of Uppsala, and the relic is embedded inside the handle. Now this has, it still has the prowess of +3, but now the learning per level devotion, the piety, and all that, and a core grandeur bonus. Now it's part of the weapon. This is just, wow. And that meant that I have now freed up the space. Let me see. Now that I freed up some space. Aha! Put that there. For tyranny loss. Bring me about to this plunder. Now, to Samarkand. We're gonna go far. What's the quickest way to Samarkand? You sure? Well, what about this way? And then you land to there, to there, to there. Oh, it doesn't matter. We're gonna take it just regardless. This one's so much to the 17th of April. This way is the same. Yeah, so either way, this is the route that we're gonna be taking. We're gonna go up to the Black Sea, and then gonna sail up to the Kuban River, and then we're gonna have to go overland and into the Terek River, into the Caspian, sail down the Caspian, up to the river of Uzboy, and then we'll be up to the Amudaya, but of course the Westerners call it the Oxus, and then we'll make a stop there, up to Kish, we take some casualties, and then we're at Samarkand. But mind you, you are entering into the land of the Sogdians, which still has a mixed populations of two different kinds of Sunni Muslims, and there's still a Zoroastrian minority there. Samarkand, on the other hand, it's just nothing but Muslims. There's no Zoroastrians to speak of. Again, we're only traveling as far as we dare, but I guess we do have the ability to travel far without the fear of starvation. No Metropolis in Bulgaria. Real inspiration comes from within. I'll take the progress hit. Hey, what about there? Trebizond, Trebizond. Nope. No Metropolis there. Well, later, complete a miniature prototype of the chest you commissioned, complete with a working lock. Holds out his palm. Top of his tiny chest, complete with a gold leaf and a key as a small piece of green. There's a gemstone inside. Try it yourself. As he hands it over, the key slips in his fingers and it goes flying. Scrabble he does so, but there's no sign of it. It's charming still. I think I should keep it. Maybe a child should want it. Oh, that's a load of... Got another one for you. Here it is. Do you have a court tutor? No, you do not. Into the Caspian. Yeah, whatever you need. Okay, we're going to be bypassing Khwarezmia, sail up the Oxus, and into the land of Sogdia, and raid Samarkand, and get out. Don't want to overstay our welcome here. Why not to myself? I'm doing great so far. Palm gang. My rival. Adi looks up as I enter the hallway. Togir, my own son, lays bloody at his feet. Ah, Þórunn, I was just leaving you a message. Togir's still alive, as if his moans of pain anything over. Who knows how far he would go if not gone uninterrupted. My goodness. You injured my son. I know during the Civil War years you were one of the best, but you've gone too far. You've harmed my son, who is intelligent and strong. You vile pop doodle, I'll challenge you to a home gang. In which 97% chance that I win. He loses a level of fame and he will be killed by me. 8% chance that he wins and I get wounded. So that's it. A mass of people gather to see the home game too. Nadia and myself. They envelop us in a giant heaving mass of voices and raised fists. I grip my sword and charge, and we are soon embroiled in a flurry of steel and blood. But there, opening his defenses, I heft my sword, grit my teeth, a quick slash, I swipe a deep gash in his ribcage. He is dead before he lies to the ground. This is what awaits anyone who challenges me. He may be one of the greatest warriors in our generation, but the one thing you do not do is to hurt my son. Another one of my rivals. Those prisoners we just gathered. These are all Khorasanis. Okay, now. Get back down there. This will be take casualties again. Wait, I recall another place. Where's Merv? That's a Metropolis, but that's kind of too inland. Well, what do I got to lose? It's a bit inland, but I told you, don't overstay your welcome, because your supplies will be dwindling. Tiny, tiny bit. And hopefully we'll have enough time to get back at sea and try to make it to Alexandria. Esfahan's not a metropolis at that time. Neither is Shiraz. Just trying to remember the places that are considered metropolises. Metropolises, that's quite of a plural. The Kushites are still around in this playthrough? I was about to say, what's the traditional capital of Abyssinia? That's not a metropolis, okay. Okay, Talmud, then to Alexandria. Got a bit of that sturdy chest. Didn't need to read the description since it's pretty much what it is. Their raid loot just reduced a bit. Sun and air. No? Okay, now up the Amudaya, or Oxus, depending on who you ask. And then Alexandria is next. And this is the one that's definitely going to fill up, and then we're going to return. And when we return, we gather our supplies again to reassemble everything that we worked so hard for. Then we're off to Egypt, Mecca, Baghdad, and some metropolises in India, or any valuable cities. So it's 5 months to get there. Died in prison. Yes. Now I have 2 rivals left, which are my brothers. Who still lives out there, and he's about to go conquer somebody as he made an ally. So I guess he'll be doing all right with it himself. Yeah, we're just going overland again, and then we'll sail up, sail down, then to Alexandria, which will definitely fill up the whole thing. And then we'll have to return home, and then have a short break, and then we regather again. Armory breaking. Baldur's Ball. Those accursed children. My son Togir and his compatriot were caught red-headed. Snuck into the armory. They don't know that weapons are dangerous. Togir was apprehended by his servant after he knocked over a suit of armor while looking for a bandage for who had hurt himself. Seems that Togir is fond of rash and unformed plans. I thought I told you that it's supposed to be raising him, not me. You should have admitted your wrongdoing, you brat. So he'll be honest, which is good, actually. Since he's getting a diplomacy education, he should be honest. Again, I'm not the perfect person to be a guardian of him. Bring me mountainous plunder, and therefore it's full. Okay, let's return. Go back all the way up to Nidaros, and then split your armies up for a resupply. You'll be gifted a gold for his golden achievements. Him and his endless conquest. Now he's about to get it all. And I'll have to give him that minor title. So when he has more children in the future... wait a minute. I did say he, but no, that's a she. What happened to Brynjolf? Brynjolf II. Oh, he died. Killed in action. In a duel, actually. He didn't have any... But it went to her, who in turn is married to this man who has a title. He lives over there, so... Oh, no. That was an unfortunate turn of events. After this whole time, we've captured 15 prisoners, few of which were ransomed out. So, we've learned that we can't go as far as Samarkand, and that means, yes, we could, in theory, get to all the way to India without any issues to raid there. That's what we've learned here. Not to mention that we would have so much loot that I have no idea what I'm going to do with. My executive seems deeply concerned when she comes to me. It has come to light that I am investigating the existence of a just and rightful claim for you. So I say many of your vassals are upset that Adroni would ignore their loyalty and act against them like this. How do you let them catch you? Crud. I mean, they knew what my plan was going to do, and that is to have a 5th chiefdom in my domain that I would like to have for myself. So I can make more burial mounds. Now we can upgrade it to boat houses. Constructed near the sea, boat houses are long wooded structures capable of holding and shielding from the harsh environment one ship each. They're made of wood but have stone foundations and can be both dug into the ground as well as built up. Now it costs less to embark. Now we're undersupplied here. Oh, home sweet home. A cynical bent. Upon returning from his successful raid, every good gnome knows how to sacrifice Lulu gains to the gods. Every good gnome, except Vestein, that is. The rest of us divide up the spoils, boasting the best pieces and discussing which were given thanks to good fortune and fair winds. I noticed that he remained stunned. Upon confronting a man, he admits that I saw no hand of the gods in our raid, my droning. Only from my own hands, I'm doing my shares for me. Good idea. Every little bit helps. Okay. Split. And also stop being a raiding army for a while so we can reinforce. Here's our dynasty available. Strange Gods, which is plus 15 of opinion of a different faith and a minus 50 of a different faith popular opinion. And a faith conversion costs way less now if you wish to change to another religion for whatever reason. And a dynasty member demand conversion acceptance plus 50. And next time in the future, veteran explorers. For even faster movement speed. $2,000 gold. As we mentioned before, we have so much gold that we have no idea what to do with them. But our adventures don't end here. If you want them back, pay up. Oh, she's dead. This one? Oh, that's even worse. Can we replace her with someone better? Her. Of course. This time I think it never comes to his mind. So he wants to join the Varangian Guard as you were an explorer. Go with my blessing. Speed it up a little. If you want those people back, pay up. Yeah. If you're not willing to pay, then... Okay, that one is too old. Who else? Yeah. Oh, let's send another proposal. Oh, it's gonna take a while to get everybody. Would not accept this. Put her on a house arrest. Idea. Now it on press claim, which I will act upon that in a future. Keep going. Oh, again with this. Arbitrary is bad for stewardship. A dismiss hook interaction. Interaction allow you to dismiss a hook targeting you in exchange for prestige. No. I gotta assign you a guardian. I don't want that. It's supposed to be my... You. Yeah, you. Educated in the ways of diplomacy. Impatience is just a little character flaw. Get over here. 146. Okay, I think I got it all figured out. So let's continue to where we were. Cairo is the next target, which will be there in 6 months. Wait! Ha! When are you going to turn 16? 20th of July. Okay. One day, while relaxing in my garden, I started to reflect on human nature. Why are some people cruel in this world? I wonder. An idealistic and naive person might argue. For example, if there was more kindness out there, everyone would be able to live peacefully together. I wish it weren't so. People just need proper guidance. Guess I'm just gonna have 2 children. 1 son, 1 daughter. My daughter, by the way. She's curious. I think you should go for diplomacy also. I'd rather have my next generation of children to be more diplomatic for stability reasons. Alright, now we're here. For some reason, the Canal of the Pharaohs doesn't seem to connect, but we're still gonna go into the regardless. The Abbasids are not at war, so be careful. When you look at the size of the empire like that, that means their army's gotta be massive. So maybe we should not raid Baghdad, nor Mecca, yet. As much as there's value in these, it's just I don't think it'll be wise. Sakatra. Now, Sakatra would be interesting to raid. Doesn't have much troubles, but it's got its own value of its uniqueness. Let's make a short stop there. What? We have contact? Yes, we do. We have contact with my old rival. He negotiates an alliance with me? You gotta be kidding. So this far enough, and then... speaks, you know, he still speaks our language, but also the native tongue over there. Småland is no longer independent. It allied with the other now. It vassalized and is now a permanent part of it. Oh, that ain't good. But let's not stop here. I have a bad feeling that I'm gonna neglect. I mean, I will ignore your call unless I absolutely need it. Son and a wife. raid Tamil Nadu in Tanjavur. It'll be another 4 months travel. Oh, wait. It's not a metropolis, but it's the area where the Parsis live. Can't traverse this body of water, so you gotta go this way. You have to take the long way round. Gotta hope nobody declares war on me. Freya was traveling nearby when she got wounded. It appears she had a simple misstep while walking around, tripped on some rocks, and sustained quite the injury. Though her wounds aren't light, Freya is currently receiving treatment. A few of my courtiers suggested I pay Freya a visit to see how she is doing. And cousin. I'll give her a little gift as a token of my support. King Hakon came to be roused when a feud broke out between House and House Sognsdal. Oh. Oh. Now we're in a house feud. What has he done? Did he kill one of my family members? No. We just became rivals. I had no issues with that man. We only raided Cornwall once. Oh, it's because we took him in as a sacrifice, and he is the father. Oh, well then, why didn't you say so? Oh, now we're rivals of Cornwall, in a way, but it's Norse Cornwall, but he's a Catholic and all that. Took a guest. Somehow these women tool. Okay. Lakshmanavati is the next metropolis to raid. Ikamati. We would sail up. Okay, this might be the first and only time we'll ever raid India. We're only doing that because it's a case of whoop! Stop! There's another metropolis we missed. Katak. Turn around. Every metropolis we raid. Now, Lakshmanavati. Any metropolises over in this side of Pagan? What's the traditional capital? Up there. There is a metropolis of Pagan. Okay. To there first and then to Lakshmanavati. Oh, bunch of these people. Can I pay the full ransom? Know that? And I noticed they formed a hybrid culture just now. They're part of this whole thing. Just noticed it. All the way back up. And then I'm gonna build another. Now it's a ship tomb. The final resting place for a great Viking chief. An earthen mount to bury this ship that used to roam the seas and travel to distant lands, covered in jewelry, weapons, and pottery. The dead sleeps peaceful with his armor, as the earth stops the sun's rays from ever touching him again. That's what we're spending our money on, burial mounds. And we're only doing this because we're not just here for loot, but for an adventure of a lifetime. And perhaps when all this is over, those people will stop looking at me as a tyrant. We seized the statue. A Paula statue. We'll be bringing that home. with us. 200 gold! Now to Patliputra. You see, this is why we do overseas raids. Sometimes you may gain artifacts that you do not typically find in this part of the world. I'm sorry, this old thing's gotta go. Look at that Pala statue. A beautiful statue of Maharaja Narayanapala, painted and finely carved. He is famous for his enlightened reign over the Pala of Sambhaja. The rosewood of the sculpture is finely worked. A tiny but elegant description on set, dedicated to my beloved Nayana Devi. Now we got an Indian statue in my court. Now Patliputra. A Havamna guest. Oh, and she's inspired. But her health's doing poor. Oh, blast. I would have loved to have her around at my court. But I can't negotiate to get her in now. She came from all the way from Khotan, I assume. That's where most of the Havamna people live. Fortunately, we can't raid Kanukuja. That was raided. Oh, where's that other place? No. That's, I thought this would be a Metropolis, but in this case this is okay then. Last Metropolis to raid is Dili. And then we'll turn around and we'll go home. Finally. And then we'll put an end to this. What about Ujjain? Isn't Ujjain a Metropolis? I know another famed Indian city, Ujjain. No, it isn't. But highly valuable. But it's a little inland. A Chinese woman. Lover's pox. Those are the ones that run Zaya. Yes. That's them. Bring me about to this plunder while you're at it. Don't overstay your welcome. Okay, should we swing by to Ujjaini? Fastest way of getting there is to go upriver up to the Chambal, and then we gain this great loot, and then we'll be out of here. Finally. I can't think of other famous Indian metropolises out there. Daughter-in-law, Courtier. But Devagiri. Okay, what about Kalyani? Kalyani is a metropolis, but does not have much loot. And it's a little more further inland. Unfortunately, that's going to be 5 months travel to get from one place towards the other. Oh, what's that other place that's called? That used to be the capital of the Rashtra. Oh no, this is it. Yeah, that's Kalyani here. That's the place. So, okay. We're just gonna go travel across the jungles and the hills and onto the plains, and then we finally leave. What are the Absids doing? At war, okay. This will be the last place to raid, and then we'll finally return. With many, many stories to tell. All of which live to tell the tale. I doubt Blanca has a metropolis. Didn't think so. Surprisingly, Madurai isn't a metropolis. Captured one of their fighters and 8 others. Okay, we will finally withdraw back. What? And more inheritance. Nonsense. Rizimska Rize. That's in a Czechoslovak language for Byzantine Empire, I assume, or Roman Empire, I should say. Now it's ran by Slovensky and Catholic, and so far disconnected that this almost roughly looks like the land of Czechoslovakia. But this is all going to be broken up, and everything's going to go to hell in a handbasket. They're all rebelling against it. Okay, there you go. So we'll travel back, and once we return, we will end the episode upon our arrival, and I will do something about 26 or 20 plus prisoners. That we have all foreigners. And hope nobody dies by the time we arrive, because there's an inspired person of a Saka or a Vamna origin. We have to go overland. And then we're going to have to get on an isle and then into the Mediterranean. He sent me a gift. A lavishly decorated box filled with gold. As I run my hands through the coins, it feels the room starts spinning around so my breath grows short. How unexpected. And what a curious effect. Oh, I'm not feeling well. Oh yeah, that ghost that used to haunt me, it's gone. I think. Is it? Yeah, the ghost is gone long ago. I totally forgot about that ghost that was haunting me. No, there was no ghost. What the hell are you talking about? I think I'm just superstitious, that's all. Hold on. Hold on, almost there. Civil war within the realm. Almost there, and we are home. There you go. Now we can finally earn our rest, and we'll start doing things again in the next episode. Hope you people have enjoyed all of that, because it's gone on way too long. So we'll see you in the next episode. And until then, so long for now.